Yes. So far what we discussed is we created a class called employee. In employee, we made three attributes. End of the day, employee, class are user defined templates. I told class is a template. We are defining our own data type. So we discussed so far all those things we discussed till arrays are primitive data types. This is first time we are creating our own data type called employee, which is a class, which is a template in Oops term. So we created like this. We created three attributes inside that. We created public string emp name. We created public, right, int emp id. We created employee id, and we also created public double emp salary. We created all these three things. So we all know the naming convention is for class names every time in Java should be of capital letters. Each and every word should be capital letter. Instance variables or local variables, everything should be. The first word should be small letter and the second word should be capital. It's a naming convention. You can give anyway, but this is what everyone follows so that for everyone it will be easy. Okay, so these are called instance variables. See, I am not declared these things inside a method, not inside a static method, not inside a normal method. I just declared inside the employee. So these are called instance variables. I already explained you when you create an object out of it, which variables will be in stack, which will be in heap. I already explained like this. Like I already explained, employee e equal to new employee. What gonna happen when I do this? So it will be like E will be just a reference and it will be pointing to an employee object. Whenever I say object, object will lie in the heap and reference will be in the stack. So E is in stack. So two types of memory in Java. So E is in stack and new of employee, that object, right, will be in heap. So the memory allocated to it in that bubble, you will be having an employee name. So that's just a reference. Initially it will be null. Employee ID will be 0 and employee salary will be 0.0. Fine. So this is a way the things are allocated in heap. Okay, so we all saw like few programs like what if created one more object, assigning that to other. These are references and we just went through that. Also we just analyze like employee array like this. Employee equal to new employee of 10. The meaning is only 10 references are created, not the 10 objects. E of 0 to E of 9, 10 references are created. Those references are continuous, but the objects will be created once you do like this. E of 0 equal to new employee. That means for the first reference, you are able to create an object now. So new of employee makes creating a bubble. So E of 0 will be pointing to that bubble. Okay, and the process goes on. So we put it everything inside a loop. If you guys remember, we just put it like this: for int I equal to 0, we asked the user how many employees they have. We have written such a code, like we written like E of I is equal to, created an object inside the loop. So each time the user enters the details and it goes inside the loop, we are getting E of 0. So the first employee, E of 1 second employee, and it goes on till n. Okay, we got the input as well. Once you access using the dot, because these are public. So these are access specifiers. What is access specifiers? Public, private, protected, and default. So whatever that is public can be accessed outside the class anywhere. Okay. So E of I dot I can access directly. EMP name equal to sc dot next. Assume scanner class I have given before this for loop. E of I dot emp id sc dot next. So the user entered details, we are all stored. So how? First we declare 10 references. So once each and every time the user enter details, we creating an object inside the object's memory. So these are inside heap. We are placing it and we are making sure that each reference pointing to a corresponding object. So we wrote such programs like E of I dot emp salary is a double. So each time we got input from the user inside this loop and we ensured that our input is ready. I asked you guys to write some logical programs with this, like display employees whose salary is greater than 5,000. Display the employee salary whose is maximum. So for maximum salary, what you did, you just int max is equal to emp of I dot. You just made emp salary. You just started like assuming the first salary of the employee is a maximum as you do in normal programs, and you just started with int I equal to 1, I less than n, I plus plus. You're just comparing the salaries. Here every data is already filled. Okay, that you need to understand, like because you are filling here everything. So here how you did, you just compared like emp of I dot emp salary, it should be capital S, right? Emp salary, if it is greater than, yeah, greater than the whatever you assume, then your max will change. This is the normal logic. You are finding a maximum number in an array. You use it to write a logic, right? Similarly, okay, emp of I dot emp salary. So this keeps on continuing, and outside the for loop, if you print the maximum salary, you can print it, or if you want to take a backup of the index, the reference number of the entire employee details whose salary is maximum, you need to put one more thing like int index equal to 0. 0 means I'm assuming the 0th employee is the maximum employee, because here also I'm assuming the 0th employee salary is maximum. So in the if condition, I will simply change index equal to I at each step. So when it comes out of the for loop, the index will tell me which corresponding the array indexes, right? Which corresponding location will have the maximum employee. So that with the index, I can print all the employee details. We discussed this. So all this put together, we understood that what is object, what is reference, what is local variable, what is instance variable, what is stack, and what is heap, how to declare an array, and how to use it and everything. Okay, we started writing our own class. Okay, so now today we're gonna discuss about encapsulation. So this is where actually we're starting the main core concepts of Java. So what is encapsulation? Encapsulation is something you may study like theoretically, like protecting the data, hiding the data, and everything. I will tell you with some simple example. See, you are declaring the class employee; it's already there, right? We created employee and I made everything as public. So what will happen because of that? In some class called employee test, what I can do? Employee test. I can write like this: public static void main string args. So what I can do? Employee equal to new employee. So what will happen if I do e.empid? I can assign directly. Think of this: minus 1001. Can any employee be negative value ID? Not possible. But still, this employee class allowed me to assign such things like this. So what will happen because of that? Some unwanted values going into the heaps memory. The user has entered some wrong thing, and there is no provision. So when I take a class, right, this guy provided me this class to this guy. So when an employee class is already given to you, you are just creating some memory and spoiling that class by putting values which is not actually will be there. Negative value will not be there, but integer you know already can take negative and positive. So how to overcome this? What we can do? Yeah. So for that, what you need to do is you need to should not ever make the instance variables directly public. You should make it as private. Okay, because end of the day, these are the state of the class, state of the object. Class is a template blueprint. This is an object. State of the object means what are the values? Null 0 0.0 is called one state. If I change employee ID to 1000, null 1000 0.0 is another state. So things will go on like that. So when each and every value changes, I mean it is a state. Okay. So I make private. So what will happen whenever I make a instance variable as private? I will not be able to access it outside the class at all. Not at all possible. So this will show compilation error. Compilation error. Not because of putting minus. Even if you put plus also it will show, because private is something where you cannot access outside the class at all. Okay, fine. So then you will ask, what is the use? You created an object. There is no way you can put some elements into the object. Okay, you can put values into the object. Then what we can do? Why we need such a thing? You made protected thing. You were able to protect that unwanted values, but not usable. For that, what you need to do? You need to write methods inside the class by which you can put the values into the object's memory. Methods are functions. We call it as methods in Java. So how will you write? That what we call it as setter and getter functions. Setter and getter functions are methods. So what is setter and getter methods? For each and everything, it's just a naming convention. You can give any name. Each and everything variable name, you put set followed by that emp name. See here, emp name is a variable. Even method also follows the same naming convention. The first word is small letter followed by everything is caps, each word. So emp name, since set comes into the picture, S takes small, emp name, E takes caps, N takes caps, and I will have an argument here, some argument coming in. This is a local variable. Remember guys, this is not instance. This is different. This argument is different. I'm going to put string emp name. You can give the same variable name. That doesn't matter. This is a local variable. This is instance variable. Okay. Inside this, I can put something like this dot. This refers to the currently invoked object. I will tell you. So this dot means in that heap's memory, emp name is equal to the local variable that comes in, emp name. And also you can write getters, public void get emp name. So what I did, I made the instance variables as private, and I provided a mechanism to put values into that heap's memory and get the values from the heap's memory by the help of methods called public methods. So making the instance variables private and accessing through public methods are called encapsulation. Okay. So public, it's not void, it's going to return me string. Okay. String means I will just return this dot whoever object that calls me in that memory I will go. That is what I mean by this dot emp name. I will return the emp name for that particular guy. Okay. Similarly, you need to write for the other two fields. How many ever fields you have, you will write setters and getters. So public void again set emp id int emp id this dot emp id equal to emp id. Fine. So public int get emp id, what do you need to do? Return this dot emp id. So now see here, you may ask me, now instead of doing like this, how I am going to call this? So you cannot call e dot emp id and all, it's private. But I can call its method called set emp id. What I will do, e dot set emp id, it's a method. I pass 1001. So what will happen? This 1001 will go to substitute to this local variable called emp id. Don't get confused. This emp id is different, this is different. So this 1001 will go and sit into this emp id. So what will happen? This dot emp, here this refers to e. So whoever calls this method, that will refer to this here. So in the, so employee, new employee means e is already pointing to some bubble, right, in the heap. In that, this refers to that heap. This dot emp id, in that particular heap there is a field called emp id. Copy the value of this local emp id value. So if I pass 1001, it will go to here 1001 and I am copying it here. You may ask, what is the difference by doing this? Making private, putting it public. Here also I can put minus 1001. Still I can put it in minus 1001 in the heap. Minus 1001 goes here and minus 1001 is copied into the emp id. So what do you achieve here? Nothing, right? But why it is called encapsulation? See guys, you are here assigning, which is done inside the class. The class will have all the control. So what I can give, this is a method. I can give something like this: if the incoming input emp id is greater than 0, then only you do this. Otherwise don't change the state, otherwise leave it. Think of this. So if this will not, even minus 1000 means what will happen? Here it will be minus 1000. This condition fails, nothing will happen. Even though this statement doesn't throw error or nothing, the state of the object, that means with the help of you will never able to change the value. So this class is protected. This class protected means you have instance variables. This employee takes care of meaningful values being entered into this object's memory. Got it? That is what is called encapsulation. So in short, for interview and everything, what you need to tell, making instance variables as private and accessing it through public setters and getters is called encapsulation. So that if they ask why so, this is an example. So that you have more control of what can be put it into the object's memory and what cannot be. Fine guys. Now time for questions.
What is that? This I note. I want to know about that. What does this point do?
It's not pointer. In Java doesn't have pointers at all. This means here employee, right? Here I am calling e dot set employee id. So in this point of view, this method will be called. Here this refers to e. In the next line, if I do like employee e1 equal to new employee, this refers to the current object which is being invoked. E1 dot set emp id. So here if I pass like 1002, when E1 calls here, even. Here this refers to even. Whoever object that calls here, that refers to this. Got it? Whichever reference that calls, that refers to this here.
Okay.
When I say e2 dot set empid, this refers to e2, which is nothing but whoever can call it. At that time, it will substitute this to whoever called. Here it is equivalent to e1 dot empid.
So
Got it? Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Next
What
question.
happens when we don't write this?
So when you don't write this means, think of how compiler will get confused. So I will write like this: empid equal to empid. It doesn't know which empid you are referring. Basically, it gives preference to local variable. What it will think, you are assigning the same value to the same variable. It doesn't even impact the heap's memory. Got it? So if you don't want to do that, you can give it different name, employee id. But that doesn't follow a standard. Lot of confusing names will be there. For that, now when you give, it will compile properly. No issues for it. Here it doesn't have a confusion. empid is an instance variable. Here employee id is a local variable. It will copy. No issues. It is not mandatory you need to put this. But what happened here? Every time you need to give a different name, different name here. Okay. So in order to avoid that, every time standard is give same name, use this. Got it? This is correct. This is a local variable. Why we used this
Even if
here?
it is same name,
Sorry?
even if it is the same name, uh, one is local variable, the other is
See,
instance variable.
yeah, that is correct, man. Even if it is the same name, one is local variable, other is instance variable. Think of this statement. That's what I am telling. Think of this statement. Every time compiler will give a preference to the local variable. What do you mean by EM? How it will know whether you are assigning the value from the heap to local to heap?
Okay. So to avoid confusion, we write that. Correct?
Yeah, so to avoid such a confusion, to maintain standards, we will put this. This means something that refers to heap's memory. The reference that being called are called this. So this doesn't make sense here. empid equal to empid. No way doesn't make sense. Even compiler will tell you, will never treat this particular, the line number 44. That particular empid it will never treat. It will think this both two empids are local. It will think like you are assigning local to local. It will show a warning why you are doing assigning a value to again itself. What you are doing, it's a dead code, or it's not a dead code. It is the code that is not at all. It's like the code that doesn't be going to make a big impact.
Okay, sure. I got it. Thanks.
Yeah. Any other question? So that is why we always use this. So you are very well versed. You can use different variables. No one will say anything. You can use like this, no problem. So here compiler will be quite clear. It will always give preference to local variable. See empid, no local. So obviously this is gonna be instance. Assign the value whatever comes to that instance. So whoever calls e dot set empid comes here, greater than 0 fails, nothing happens. E1 dot set empid 1002 greater than 0 true. In that 1002 of even is pointing to some bubble, right? In that empid will be there you put 1002, no issues. But if you use the same name, the local variable and everything name, everyone will follow this type of thing only, because to avoid confusion, okay, you will use like this. Any more questions on encapsulation? You understood, right? So making private variables, sorry, instance variables as private, and accessing it through setters and getters. Sorry. So that is called that is called encapsulation. The reason is in the setters you have more control to think like what you can put it into the object's memory. Any more questions like Andril, Harika, are you clear on this? You can ask any question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Are you clear, Andril?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Sai and Vivek, your doubts are clear, or you have any other doubts?
I'm clear, Ashok.
Yeah. Sai yourself.
Uh, yeah, I'm clear. One thing I want to know. So if I'm using setters in this method, if I enter even the negative number, if I have to write the logic, right? If employee ID is greater than 0, this dot employee ID is equal to employee ID, then only it will know that then only whatever if I enter even the negative number, it will accept the positive number, right?
It will not become positive number. It will not allow. It will not allow to even change the
No,
employee.
no. Okay, okay. And
Yeah, you need to write the logic.
yeah.
Think
If
of everything being private and no one can stop you like doing like this. If everything is public, you can simply do this, right? Okay, so instead of that, the class is taking care. Got it? Yeah. Okay,
okay.
fine. So this is what you called as encapsulation. Next you're going to see about what is constructor and constructor and destructor. Destructor happens automatically in Java. Destruction of object. What is constructor? What do you mean by constructor? Constructor, as name suggests, constructing an object, creating an object. Okay, so where you see new of employee means what? Always compiler will give you a invisible constructor to you. Okay, you will not be able to see this code. Whenever you create a class, it will insert this code, public employee. Got it? So this code is not there, but always compiler will insert one for you. That means this is the code where responsible for creating an object. Whenever I say new of employee, the flow comes here. So here what is there? Nothing. So nothing happens. Nothing happens means only object gets created, initialized with some default values. Suppose, say for example, if I put like this dot r emp id or just emp id equal to, by mistake I put like this. So what will happen? Put like this. Instead of everything being employee ID 0, so what will happen here? All the objects that creates with the employee, all the objects, whenever I say new of employee, my employee ID will be 1000, because whenever I say new of employee, the flow that gonna call is this public of employee constructor. Constructor is responsible for creating the object. It will be same as the name of the class. It will not have a return type. It can have an access specifier like public. Okay, so the flow comes here whenever I say new of that thing. So what indirectly it will have is empty body constructor, nothing will be there. So whenever it creates a bubble, it will put an employee name as null, id as 0, salary as 0.0. It has some rules like double means 0.0, objects means null, int means 0. So such rules. Okay, now suddenly if I call new of employee, if I can write such a code, when I write one on my own, that means you are eliminating the provided one by the compiler. That means you are telling the compiler, I don't want yours, I am writing on my own. So whenever a guy calls new of employee, comes here. Okay, so here it will come. I can do any code I want. I can put emp id equal to 1000, something like this. So everyone who creates a first time fresh object will be 1000. After that, if I want to go and change, I need to call set employee id 1001, means it will change to 1000. Okay, so here, so constructor is for creating the object, and you can use that place for initializing the values inside the object. So what you can do, you can use that method, that constructor block, for initializing the object when it is created. Got it, guys? So this is what the use of constructor. So constructor, this is a no argument constructor. You can have your own argument constructor also, like this. Whenever you can force like this emp id, you can tell like the people this dot emp id equal to emp id. So what does it mean? So now this will be a compilation error, guys. Why compilation error? You wrote a constructor means the existing default no argument, this is an argument, no argument constructor is no more there. The compiler will never consider this. It will treat yours as the constructor. That means whoever creates an object to me need to pass an argument, otherwise it is a compilation error. Here it will be a compilation error. Here also it will be a compilation error. There is no such constructor called employee. Why? Because you written one constructor. So by default, what compiler will provide? No argument, no body constructor. What you did, you written something. So what it will do? It will delete that. It will take this as a preference. Okay. So that means this will become an error. So what you need to do, whenever you create an employee, you are bound to pass some employee ID. That becomes a rule now. So 1001. End of the day, every Java program, what you need to think, what is the reference, which object it is pointing, what is the value in that object. So when E itself created, it will be created with 1001. Okay. You may ask me, if I pass minus 1001, yes, it will be minus 1001. You can write the logic here also. If EMP ID is greater than 0, you can write this logic here also. Got it, guys? So it depends, like what you want. Fine. So constructor is like this. You can have more than one constructor also. That is called constructor overloading. So this is just one argument constructor. So you may say, no, 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 I will use setters to put the values. I want a default. Yeah, you can have. No, no compilation error. Even is not compilation error. Even will prefer this. Simply it will go here. Nothing is there, so it will not do anything. You can put values also. Okay, so constructor is what? Same name as a class name. It is actually responsible for creating an object. Actually, compiler will provide one for you which is not visible to us, which is a no argument, no body constructor. If you write one, it will take that as a preference. You can overload the constructor. Overload means you can have a number of arguments. So this is one more constructor. See the same name, but this is with no arguments. So whenever you call without arguments, it will come here. Whenever you pass with one argument as an integer, it will come here. You can have one more constructor also with all the details. So whoever creates object, initially they need to tell all the details. You can force that also. EMP ID, string EMP name, comma, double EMP salary. So here you can write this type of constructor. So all the three, this dot EMP ID equal to EMP ID, this dot EMP name equal to EMP name, this dot EMP salary equal to EMP salary. So these things are not error now. This will go to this particular employee constructor. The nobody will go to automatically to it. So no issues for us. And the third one I will create now. So employee, I can do it like this. Employee E2 equal to new employee of what I can do 1002 comma string means I need to give in double quotes John comma salary some number. Fine. So automatically when when E2 is created, things are not automatic. 1002 John, this number will be copied to this local variables. This constructor will be a match for this. So this local variables you only copying to the instance. Instance means this means E2 is referred to as this here. So wherever E2 is pointing, there you are filling these values. So object gets filled with employee ID, employee name, and EMP salary. So E2 is being filled. So if you don't want to change the salary, you can do that. E2 dot set salary. There is a method, right? EMP salary. So this salary will get updated now, right, guys? So when the object gets created, the salary is this. So if you want to change it, if you put means what will happen? So again, it will go to EMP salary on the same object, E2 object, EMP salary. I have not written it. If I have written it, it go there, and there it would have changed it. Okay. So end of the day, when object is created, some values are there. You can change the values using setters and getters, but you cannot change the value using constructor. That you need to understand. Constructor is one time for creating an object. If you want to change the value and you say that employee E2 equal to no, I'm going to change the value employee 1002, comma John, comma and some value like this. This is going to be compilation error. First, it will tell there cannot be two int E2 of employee. See, int a comma int a one line you declare. Another line you specify int a equal to 7. That is error only, right? You can specify a equal to 7, but again you cannot declare. It will show error. So what you will think? You delete employee. Is this correct? Again it will change. Yeah, it will change. E2 is pointing to new employee now. That's a new object. This object is garbage collected. It doesn't mean you went and changed it there. It means you unnecessarily created a new object. So constructor is just creating an object. While creating, you can utilize it to initialize the objects. To change and all, you need to use methods like setters and getters. So again I am repeating, constructor will be the same name as a class name. It doesn't have a return type. By default, compiler will provide one constructor for us, which is no argument, no body constructor, which is not visible. So we write everything. So it doesn't mean there is no constructor when you do these things. It provides, but it is not visible to us. And when you start writing the constructor, it will throw away that. Even if you write this, it will throw it. It will take this as a preference. You can write more constructors or overloading. You pass n number of arguments. It will match accordingly, and it will come to it. Okay, guys. Now time for questions. For destructor is automatic in Java, so you can study that things objects. If no reference is there for a construct for an object, automatically garbage collector will take that object. So fine, guys. Any doubt till this point? It's time for questions. You can ask your doubts. Vivek, you have any doubts?
No, Ashok, I'm okay
Okay,
with this.
no doubts means you didn't understood anything, or
I understood.
you understood all. Sa yourself?
Why?
Uh,
Every time we use
yeah,
default.
Yeah, Vivek, you are about to ask something. You are not. You are not audible. Can you speak loud?
Yes, Ashok. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah, a bit better. Yeah, tell me, Vivek, what is your question?
We have a default constructor every time, right?
Yeah.
So what are the occasions we go and change the default constructor?
See, occasions means if you want to initialize the values of the constructor, if you want to initialize some values when you create the object itself, that is a point, right? So mostly no one will go with the default constructor at all, because our standards like creating an object, we will provide someone to create initialize values when they create the object itself. That is a good approach, right? Instead of setting three times, see, employee object is created with the values filled. Happy, got it? Okay, for testing purposes, quickly testing, for writing test cases,
Okay,
people will use this type of approach only, quickly filling the data. Got it? Yeah.
okay, Ashok.
Yes. Saw yourself? That is a question.
um, yeah, I understood. But uh, if I write e dot set employee ID of 1001, okay, first one employee equal to new employee of 1001 means the constructor will initialized with the value 1001, right? I mean,
No,
the
because of,
integer.
so in 1001 you pass, you should not think like automatically the constructor will initialize 1001 and all. You should go to this method. This will go here. Because of line number 49 it is happening here. If I jollyly print this out, how are you? Okay, it will not initialize, it will print just this out, how are you? Okay, so you should think, not think like because of this line it is happening. What is happening because of this constructor is being called. Here I wrote a line like this dot empid, because of that it is being initialized. Don't think like automatic. Okay.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, see, you calling a
Uh,
constructor, it
okay,
goes.
again,
Hmm,
yeah, okay.
yeah, okay. And
Okay, now I have initialized a value.
okay, okay, yes, I tell me
Uh,
initialize the value.
uh, I initialize the value. Okay, again I give another line as e dot set employee ID. Set employee ID, I give another value in set employee ID. Okay, so the set employee ID function will get called, right?
Yeah,
Now the value in the constructor will remain the same, but the
no,
value
no,
in the set employee ID will get changed, right?
it's only one object. Sai, new of employee means only one object. You should not think like the value in the constructor, value in the set employee. You will never learn Java if you think like that. Okay, E is just a reference. It's pointing to an object. Whenever you say new of employee of 1001 means in that object means what is the object? New of employee means what are the things that contains in new of employee? End of the day, these three attributes: employee name, employee ID, and employee salary. Three attribute space is there to fill values. Whenever say 1001, it goes to this constructor. Because of this line, 1001 will be the employee ID, salary will be 0.0, employee name will be null, because you are not doing anything with the other two attributes. Next line, your question is e dot set employee ID. If
Yeah.
you put 1002, what is e is pointing? Still the same object. Set employee ID means it will go here. The same 1002 will be replaced with 1001. Int a equal to 1001. Next line you put a equal to 1002 means you will say a has two different memories. First line is 1001, second line is 1002. Is it so? No, right? End of the day, same memory,
Okay.
similar to that. Okay, he is pointing to one bubble. Write down in paper. He is pointing to one bubble. In that bubble, you put
Oh,
1001 when you create an object. 0.0 for double. Employee name null. Next line e dot set, same reference only, right? Set means what is going to do? Same object is going to refer. 1002, 1001 will be replaced with 1002.
okay, okay, okay.
Yeah. Andrew, yourself, any doubt?
I understood Ashok. I'll just look at it once and ask if
Yeah,
I have any
okay.
doubts.
Harika?
Same doubt with the Sai asked I even I to had, but I'm clear now.
Okay, fine. Okay, so this is what about constructor and encapsulation, guys. So what you people try now is simply you understood constructor, right? So you try creating a class called employee. Everyone has editor, I guess. Last class like Andril, Kasai. Create a class called employee. Declare variables like this. Create your own constructors. Okay, create a test like this. Just put some values and just again display it using getters. Okay, try it. I will guide you. Okay, guys. Okay, so you need to type. I'm not going to ping you this. You just create a class called employee and just figure it out. Then only you will understand like what is happening and how these things are. Fine. Employee with these three fields. You have setters and getters for everything. Have a number of constructors you like. Okay, and just create objects. You will face lot of errors. Create one more class called employee test like this. Create objects and try to print it. How will you print it? In system.out.println e dot, suppose e2 dot get emp salary. So what will happen? It will go to the getter method. Getter method does what? E2. E2 is pointing to some object, right? So get employee salary, it will go to that salary. I didn't wrote it. So it go there. In that return this dot emp salary means wherever E2 is pointing in that bubble, it goes the salary and it fetches and returns to you. Okay. So you guys need to be familiar with this first. Okay, first create a class called employee and employee test. Come up with lot of errors and go through. Okay, guys. No logic and all, just learning. So theoretically you are clear, right? What is encapsulation? What is this? So you just need to practice what is constructor, what is encapsulation now. Got it? Fine, Vivek, Sai, Harika, Andrew. Will you guys try now?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Ashok, we need to use, we can use any constructor, right? Uh, It's our wish, right? Ashok,
Hello, Vivek.
yes, Ashok.
Yeah,
We can use any constructor, right? It's our wish, right?
yeah. You can try everything. It's about just trying and printing things. So no error should be there. Use 2 to 3 constructors. No argument. Overloaded. Print something in constructor. Just check how the flow is. Okay.
Okay, Ashok.
Hello guys, can you hear me?
Sure.
Yes. So, okay, I will show you how to do it the same thing. Okay, in my uh, Eclipse. Fine. So, are you able to see my screen, guys? Everyone with me, right? Harika, are you there?
Yes, issue.
Yeah. Okay. So everyone is able to. So let me show you. Like, let me create a package first. Learning dot encapsulation. Fine. So here, guys, so I'm going to create a class called employee. Employee. Fine. So see, in applications like NetBeans or Eclipse, you will have an option to generate getters and setters, even constructors. Fine. Initially, you people just do it on your own. Then only you will get idea. So private. What I'm going to do int emp id private string emp name private double emp salary. What I told you to create constructors, right? How to create constructor? Let me create a default no argument constructor. So the compiler will override and take as sys out. Just I'm going to print hello, just to show you that this being invoked. And next I'm going to write a one argument constructor public employee int emp id. So which is just I'm creating an object with just an employee ID, nothing else. Okay guys. And next with all the three arguments public employee int emp id comma string emp name comma double emp salary. So what I'm going to do, this dot emp id equal to emp id, this dot emp name equal to emp name, this dot emp salary equal to emp salary. Fine guys. Yeah. So now what I'm going to do, these things are done. Now I'm going to create setters and getters. Public void, all setters will be void because I'm passing a value, it will be setting into the heaps memory. All getters will have a return type because from the heaps memory it's gonna take it and give it to us. Set emp id, will take an emp id. So what I'm going to do, this dot emp id equal to emp id. So you all know, right? Encapsulation. So making instance variables of private, accessing through public setters and getters. And here you can put logic if you want. If emp id is greater than 0 and everything. So I told you why it is needed and all. So return type will be int for getters because emp id is an integer. It will go to the object, that particular reference. If I call with e2, it will go to the e2's object and fetch the emp id out of it. So this C. So return this dot emp id, return statement. Okay. Next. The same thing I need to repeat for what is this, employee name and salary. There is a shortcut in Eclipse, even in NetBeans it will be there. You need to right click, there will be something called source, generate getters and setters. You can go there, see it is showing these two because for these two I have not created. The other one it is already there, so it is not showing. So I can select these instance variables, employee name and employee salary, and I click OK. See, automatically it generated for us. Set emp name, get emp salary, set emp salary. Fine guys. So this is automatically done. So initially you just type and practice. And so our employee class is ready. Now I'm going to write employee test. Employee test with a public static void main. What I'm going to do is employee e1 equal to new employee. So here I am calling the default no argument constructor. So when I click this itself, automatically you will see where it will take me here. So when I create an object, it will print hello, and all the objects will be initialized with default values. This is sysout e1 dot get emp id. So it's gonna be 0 here. Now see e1 dot set emp id 1002. Okay. Now if I print that, it will print that particular thing. So this is one case. Employee E2 equal to new employee of 1200, say for example. So this will call which constructor? Go here. See here, it went here. So 1000 to 2000 will copy here. This 2000 will be copied to this .emp. This will refer to the E2. Okay. So I can print it here. See, this is out. If I say that E2 dot get emp id. So what getter will do? Just return that particular E2 pointing emp id. Fine guys. Next, employee E3 equal to new employee of, what you can do is I can pass the values like 1001, 1001 John, some number. So what will happen in this case? This employee will go here, employee ID, name and salary. Automatically emp id, emp name and salary will be copied. Okay, an object references get created. And now what you will do? Sys out e3 dot get emp id. Okay. Now e3 dot set emp id 1345. Now if I say sys out e3 dot get emp. So okay guys, now you just tell me the output. What will be the output for line number 7? Guys, you there?
It will return the last employee ID what it has.
Yeah, just tell me the answer. For line number 7, what will be the answer? Like e1 dot get emp. Vivek, Harika.
What did we?
Harika, are you there? Vivek, you there?
Yes, Ashok, I'm thinking.
See what I told, when an object gets created, right? What will be the default values for integer? Here I am not doing anything here for these things. Just printing hello. When an object gets, sorry. So what will be the default values for integer, string, double? I told, right? So what will be for e1 dot get emp id? What it will return? What it will print? So when an object is created, right? What are the default values I told? For integer, what is the default value?
Zero.
Yeah, 0. For double, 0.0. For string, null. So e1 dot get emp id will print 0. Right guys. Next step what I am doing in that same e1 reference, I am changing a emp id to 1002. So line number 9 will print 1002. Okay. See here, employee to new employee of 1200. Line number 11. So new employee, if you go to this constructor, what I am doing? This 1002 is being copied here. Because of that, e2 emp id is 1200. e2 dot get emp id will print 1200. Employee E3 equal to new employee 1001 John 34344 something, right? E3 dot get emp id will print 1001 because that is what being set. See here, in new employee, this employee id is copied to the heaps memory. And finally, I am changing that also. E3 dot set emp id is 1345. When you print it, you will get it. Got it? So you will get 1345. So when I run this, see here, why I am getting hello? Because first time the constructor is being initialized. So it's classical example. So when I get employee, I will get hello because of the line number 6. See here, what I did in this constructor, I'm just printing hello. That will happen first. And after that, what is the print statement? In this 7th line, 0, then 1000, 2200, 1001, 134. Any doubt guys in this output?
One small doubt. Is there any constant that set and get instead of using that set get? Can I write even dot employee ID and putting a function as just employee ID?
I don't get your question.
Should I compulsorily use that set that word set employee ID?
No, no, that is just a naming convention. You can use any function name. Yeah. Okay, I got your question. You just telling like instead of this get set, why can't I use save employee ID, return employee ID, give employee? You can use, but that is not a standard where everyone follows. If you work in real time projects, if everyone follows same standards, it will be easy for you to accessing methods from the objects, right? If you give some name, I need to search for what is the
Okay,
method, what it is referring. So it's a standard better to follow.
okay. Okay, so I need not import anything. Just I can change that like anything I need.
Yeah, fine. Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
That those are just method names. You can give X, Y also. It's gonna give the same thing. It doesn't make difference. But if you give this employee class to some other person to use it or develop, you will search. You will to search out what X should do, what Y should do. You will never do. But following a standard, everyone will help us. We will easily just put get employee name, gonna return employee name. We will know that.
Okay. Okay.
Yourself, Harika, questions. Hello, Harika, you there?
Hello Ashok. My audio connections are little problematic.
Oh, okay.
I'm hearing your voice.
Yeah, are you able to understand any doubts you have?
Yeah, Ashok, I am following.
Yeah.
No doubts till now.
Okay. Vivek, yourself?
Yes, Ashok, I understood. No doubts for me.
I understood, right. So, have you done, Vivek? You tried something in your, are you in mobile, connected through mobile or system?
Uh, yes, Ashok, I have connected through mobile, but I'm using Eclipse in lab, but I'm not able to connect through lab.
Oh, okay.
My Wi-Fi is down connected through mobile.
Oh, okay, okay. Got it, got it. Fine, fine, fine. So, are you able to try? Is your code is working? So, you have any problems?
Uh, I have followed your code, Ashok. It's working good.
Oh, okay, fine, cool. So, yourself saw any errors? So, if you have errors, I can connect your machine and just explain. Because for concept wise, that's it for today. Tomorrow again 12 to 2 we will connect because too much, so you need to practice this till tomorrow, like creating constructors, getting and setting. And one more thing what you need to do is, we did this array program, right? Arrays like employee array. There it is. Yeah, see here, we created this, remember, we created an employee class with public everything. And in an employee test, if you remember guys, in employee details we created all the logics, right? So what we did, we accessed all the employee details directly. If you see in the for loop and all, we just did it like empi dot empid, right? So what you need to do is, you need to change this program to set us and get us everywhere. So you should not do like this. Look, what you need to do, change the employee class. Everyone has this program running, I believe. Change the employee class with public, instead of that change it to private. You will get error everywhere. Fix those errors. Here you will get error. EMPID is private, cannot be accessed. So what you need to do here, you need to put setter EMPID dot set EMPID sc dot next, like that. And wherever you get it right, EMP directly dot salary, you need to use get of salary. So you need to change employee with private, and setters and getters, put some constructors, and change employee details accordingly. Can you try guys for tomorrow? I think you have this program both. Did you understood the question, Harika?
Can you just repeat the question? I didn't hear properly.
See, we already did this program with the employee details with lot of case scenarios, right? We did employee public three attributes. We did lot of case scenarios like displaying employee salaries greater than 5,000, displaying within a range, and starting with letter A and everything. We were able to access everything.
Yes, yes.
dot operator dash.
Yes, sure.
Now what I'm trying to say is change every public to private. Okay, so we'll get fully errors like you cannot access, and then put constructors, setters, and getters, and no new change to logic and all. Just fix the compilation errors. Got it? Say for example, see here, if I change this to private, I'm changing this alone to private. See the errors here. So what is happening? Here it is telling I cannot access. Visibility is problem. So what you need to do here and all, where and all you want to use setters, use setters. Whenever you accept input and put into the object, use setters. Whenever you try to print something, use getters. So change this employee class everything to private, use constructors, setters, getters, and accordingly change the program here. Got it, guys? Any doubt?
Yes, sure.
You understood, right? Vivek, yourself?
Got it. Yes,
Sorry?
Ashok, got it.
You got it, right?
I got
So
it, Ashok.
yeah, what I will do, I will ping this code actually, the code whatever last class you did again. I will ping this again. Your job is to import this code, okay, in your Eclipse machine and change everything to private, public, and setters, and make sure employee details doesn't contain any compilation error. Okay, so then you will understand how to use setter, how to use getter. So this is a work before tomorrow. Okay, so today we discuss encapsulation constructor. It's enough. Tomorrow once you are comfortable in this, you will see inheritance. Okay, then polymorphism. So this is, I think this is fifth week. We have only 2 more weeks, correct? So inheritance, polymorphism we discuss tomorrow. Then generics may take one full week, then threats and everything. So you need to understand more deeply on how things are working. Fine. So you need more hands-on on this. This is very critical part here. If you understand this space, then only next you will understand better. Fine, guys. So just try it out.
Sure, Ashok.
Yeah. Sa yourself, did you understood what is our task?
Yeah, I understood.
Yeah. Sarika also understood. So tomorrow we will connect at 12 o'clock. 12 to 2 tomorrow. Okay, we will see 12 to how long it goes. So I don't want to start a new topic today. Just get practiced with this first. Fine, guys.
Yeah.
Yes, sure.
Okay. Fine, right, Vivek?
Yes, Ashok. Okay for me.
Yeah. You just practice this, Vivek. So I'm going to ping this code to everyone. So you just try to make setters, getters, constructors, learn, practice more on this. So we'll see the next one. Fine.
Okay.
Okay. Bye, guys. Take care.
Bye, Ashok. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.